everybody, this is a little bit of a different start, and I am not starting yet. I'm putting this here mostly for people who watch the VOD and for you guys watching. I will reiterate this when the actual stream does start, but I do want to let you guys know that I have largely moved over to Twitch. I think I've updated my Twitch link. My Twitch name changed as I'm kind of in the middle of a brand change right now. But yeah, there won't be many more live streams on here. After today, I might do one or two, but I'm going to kindly mostly use this channel to work on Into the Farwood and everything that came after Into the Farwood in that campaign. I've had a really fun time working in that, working on this project. It's very labor intensive, and I kind of maybe bit off a little bit more than I could chew, putting out 4 episodes in a month. But yeah. I am largely moving over to Twitch, just saying that now before I put you guys back on the starting soon and finish setting up. So if you want to check that out, I'd suggest going down below. I'm a bit sporadic as a streamer. I'm a lot more active on my live shows, but I'll talk about that a little bit more when we actually get to the stream. Alright, see you guys in just a minute. Just been informed that no, the Twitch link is not working, so I'm going to fix that right now and chat with you guys for a second. How are you guys? How are you doing? Sorry about that. I thought I had fixed my Twitch, but I think I didn't update it after I changed the name. That's my bad. It should be fixed in just a moment. And... alright, it's saved now, so if you refresh the stream, you should see it. Alright. Now we're actually going away this time. Alright guys, hi. So I got a little bit of a different streaming setup here. I've been wanting to experiment with Facecam for a while, so we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna turn this music down because it's way too loud. It's about where I am. That's not right. One of these days I'll be able to stream without fucking something up. Hi, hello everyone. So I just realized how terrible my webcam placement is. We'll put this there. That's a little better. At least you guys can see what the heck I'm about to ask you guys. Hi, so this is going to be largely a designing, talking, rambling kind of stream that's going to go for just about as long as I feel like. I do, at the very least, want to get lines down and maybe color. My process has changed quite a bit since the last time I streamed. I'm actually now working pretty much exclusively in Photoshop for lines and sketch, and I move over to SAI to color. I'm not sure if that means anything to anyone watching, but if you're wondering what programs I'm using, that's what I'm using. I'm also using a Wacom Intuos Pro, not the right way. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to put it up on the desk, but I always put it in my lap. So there's that. Let's just get started. I have already actually prepared a straw poll for you guys. So I figured we'd start the stream by you guys picking which character we're gonna work on. So we have 3 to choose from. One is actually an update from my Blood Hunter that I really wanted to draw, so I had a lot of fun on Pinterest looking at cloaks and skirts and stuff, and she's got like a tree bark breastplate in the game, so I was having fun like styling things around that. Next, I have a Fire Genasi. That's a very old design I did that I just wanted to redo. And the last one is a adorable little kobold, because one of my friends wants to strong-arm me into playing a kobold. So I'm gonna put a straw poll in the chat, and we're gonna vote in chat. That's it. So here you go. The poll should be in chat, I believe. There it is. Hi Sly, hi Alice, Sarma. Thanks, Dad. You guys don't know, John Mock, and there is my dad, who I was meant to get coffee with today, but it was pouring rain. So, you gotta love Florida. Hi, Dad. But yeah, straw poll. I've labeled them 1, 2, and 3. And until I get some results, we're just gonna sit here and chat about what the heck's been going on these last couple months. And really, the biggest thing about why it stopped here is burnout is fun. That night I also got way too busy with work. I was working at a restaurant, and we were severely short-staffed, as all service industry kind of is. I also moved 6 times last year, so last year was a time. Last year was an experience. Still kind of is. Still kind of reeling from it, but I think I'm ready to finally step back into some things. Especially after I pushed through and wrote with Into the Farwood and produced 4 episodes in 1 month without really much planning, because the time that those episodes were coming out, I physically did not know how the story ended because I was still in the arc. I was writing them on a nearly weekly basis, and I think like 1 or 2 sessions behind when these episodes were coming out. Yeah, got a little much crammed into my schedule. I have a bit of a problem with that. Chill time with some tea and good vibes. Yep, good vibes here. I did not want to come on here and not give good vibes. I like to think that I keep my channel in a pretty positive place. I don't like to deal with bullshit. I don't like to deal with stress while I am live to the internet. That just seems like a terrible idea. I kind of want to put a good image out, just so, you know, my own sanity. And these last couple months, I physically could not bring myself to do anything on this channel. Actually, I think I was in a cycle of sleeping, streaming for Roll for Damage, and I'm also on a show over on Crit Failsafe now, and sleeping. And I'm pretty sure I didn't even do that as much as I really should have. There was not a Bards for Bards this year because me and Connor were burned out, gonna be honest. If you guys don't know, my sister Connor is the person who organizes the event with me, and we, where we grab all the creators. And, yeah, this year there was just too much going on, what with the fact that, my sister moved twice, I moved 6 times. It was not feasible to do it this year, with the schedules we were working, and there is also just a lot of disorganization last year that we want to iron out before we run again. So, we did, I think, talk about doing it sometime this summer, but I think that's probably fallen through and is probably going to get pushed back to next year. Don't take my word on that, though. It's been a while since me and my sister have sat down and actually formally discussed this, because we're both very busy people. But yeah, that is one of the reasons there wasn't a Bards for Bards this year. That, and like, I had a few personal things in April that were much higher precedent than Bards for Bards. Yeah, 6 times. I was going back and forth between Florida and Alabama, because that's what one does. I won't get too far into that one. It was just an unstable living arrangement that is settled down now. I'm still not entirely stable yet, but we're moving again, hopefully for the last time for me in a couple years, in August. So, let's go check the poll and see how this is looking. Okay, looks like Kobold. I don't blame you. The Kobold's freaking adorable. I had a lot of fun making her. One of my favorite things, I see people design with kobolds, and I don't see enough, because, like, a lot of people just make kobolds look like tiny dragons. And don't get me wrong, I'm into that. I like dragons. Dragons are cool. Like, I play Dungeons and Dragons. I think dragons are freaking cool, but kobolds, I don't know, there's something really adorable about them with the giant floppy ears and, like, the tiny, tiny horns and, like, the really big heads and small bodies. It's the same thing I find so cute about goblins. I mean, kobolds are just the scaly goblins, except their tactics are way more entertaining, I think. Sue me. Oh, Cross writes, thank you for Luna. Consider it a wedding gift for her and Scorpio. $100. Thank you so much. Sure, I will. I'm sure that was very sweet. Oh god, I miss Necrohunt. I've gone back and watched the VODs so many times because I just loved that show. Joe did such a good job. It's one of the most fun games I ever played, and this is no shade to any of the live games I've played on, because I would not stay on a live show if I was not enjoying myself. But a live game is very much a performance. And don't get me wrong, I love performing. Obviously I do. I would not be playing D&D and I would not be streaming it if I did not love to perform and I didn't love to entertain people. But there are very few productions I've been in which I forgot I was even streaming in the first place. And Necrohunt was one of them. There were times in that campaign I genuinely thought I was just sitting at a table with a group of friends playing a game. And that was fantastic. So I can't say enough good things about Necrohunt and how much I love that show. And if you haven't seen Necrohunt, you should go watch it. I play a hot Aasimar lady with, like, fucking, like, god, I can't talk. With, like, fucking huge muscles, and I explode into a lighthouse. So, it's real fun. You should come check it out if you want to see my terrible excuse at, I don't know what to call what Luna's voice was. It was very, like, I hear, like, bits of Aussie in it, but then I hear very, very clearly Herefordshire in it, because a bunch of my friends are from there. So, you should come watch it. It's real fun. If I can get a link in the chat if you don't know who Joe Cat is, but if you know who I am, I hope you know who Joe Cat is. Yes, Hot Echo Mom. There we go. Thank you, chat. Hot Echo Mom. That's what we'll call it. I had so much fun in that campaign. It was great. All right, so it's looking. I'll refresh the results one more time, but it is looking like Kobold is winning. So I think I'm going to probably set it there. Hi, if you're just joining, there is a straw poll in the chat. If it has been buried, sorry, I didn't mean to blink the screen. I will repost it, just to give people one more chance to vote. if they would like to vote. Otherwise, we're gonna just jump into this cute little kobold. No, the only one that doesn't have a class in mind is the Genasi. The kobold I've already kind of envisioned as a storm sorcerer. I don't know if it's really coming across in the sketch. I did some color studies with the kobold too because I was weak and I was having fun with colors. But I don't know if it's coming across here that there's like meant to be like lightning, like crackling in her orb. Orbs are like one of my favorite arcane focuses to find because they just look cool. Weirdly enough, I've never played a character that used a focus that wasn't like an item that was meant for them, I don't think. I don't know, I'm rambling. Alright, so it's looking like, yep, kobold. Look like everybody wants that kobold, which is valid. The kobold is adorable. I had way too much fun designing this kobold. So, let's jump back right in, and let's see which one is it here. Is this the one? There she is. So I actually pulled my sketch off of the original... sketch dump I did her on. And I think we're going to start with just cleaning up the sketch a little bit, maybe adding a few things. If you guys have any suggestions, I'm more than open to them. Oh yes, there's not enough dragon content in Dungeons & Dragons, man. There's just not. I got so excited when Fizzbends came out. I don't get excited about physical books that often, unless they're like Kickstarters my friends made or my friends are involved in the production of. I don't really get excited about books. Like Tasha's was cool, but I never got a physical copy of Tasha's as much as I like Tasha's. But God, as soon as Fizzbends came out. Stormsword Kobold, yep. My idea is just I'm kind of seeing, I kind of want to imagine them as a sort of like cloud seer. I want them to be, I'm not sure scale-wise. I am very partial to silver scales personally, but I make too many silver-scaled dragon-themed things because silver dragons are my favorite. I don't adhere to most rules about what characters can look like, mostly because I play in a lot of games that, my DMs are like, you can design your character look however the fuck you want as long as you're not messing with mechanics. And since, like, kobolds in our world don't get things like breath weapons, and also Fizzbend's update to kobolds was fantastic. Sorry guys, I was reading the chat. Silver blue, that could be fun. Like I said, when it comes to dragonborns, kobolds, I don't care what the lore says because the lore in all my games is different anyway. I just want to have a cool looking dragon. Yes, silver dragons are the best dragons. They are super fun. I love them. They are my favorite dragon. All right, well, let's get started. If it's not obvious, I'm not the most confident in my ability to draw reptiles. That's not where the bridge of that snoot should be. A gold kobold. Okay, my only thing is that golden dragons are super cliched. I love them, don't get me wrong. I have a really cool NPC that you guys will actually get to hear about at some point because they are part of the Into the Farwood story. That is a giant gold dragon. They are really freaking cool. But gold dragons are cliche. They just are. And I don't see people utilizing any of the other colors. I hardly see anybody use, like, bronze dragons or copper dragons. Copper dragons are fun. Copper dragons are just little trolls. They're great. I don't know. I feel like you could have so much fun with one. I don't know. I had a really fun experience when I was playing a bard with the copper dragon, so I might be a little biased. Hello, Raven. I'm alright. How are you? It's been a intensive few months, but finally here, finally back, I think. Ooh, like a Russian blue color. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh god, well, you guys are gonna... I'm gonna have to open this and then... Oops, nope. Move it over because Photoshop was being difficult and didn't want to only let me capture on, we're just gonna move this off so you guys can't see my files. Photoshop didn't want to only capture one canvas, so I had to capture the entire display instead, because thanks, Streamlabs! I swear, OBS, Streamlabs, all of these streaming services, sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Alright, let's see. I think it will be in here. It will be in... I think here. I have to get this up from my very first... if you guys have been watching... I don't know how many of you guys watch The Scales Above over on Roll for Damage. It's the show I've been a part of the longest. If you liked my performance in Necrohunt, you really should go check out The Scales Above. I play a much more intensive character. It's a different... I think it's a much different viewpoint of me as a player. Luna was much happier and much more content with herself, while Nia, the character I play over there, is not. What I'm about to pull up on screen is a very old picture of Nia, because Nia's entire story revolves around her connection with a silver dragon, because they're my favorite. But I had a very specific way I colored an item of hers. Is it in this one? Also, forget this art, guys. This is like 3 or 4 years old at this point, I think. It's old. Oh. No, that's not the one, but I think I might keep this one up anyway because it's got the right tone right there that I think I'm gonna make the Kobold's base. And we'll just grab, I think it's this one. Yes! I'm thinking we're gonna do something like this here. This necklace was meant to be a necklace made of a silver dragon scale. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to... And the way that they look like in the monster manual, I might go ahead and pull one of those up and just slap it on Dragon 5e. Sorry about my typing right next to the mic. I have a very small desk space. I'm not sure if that got through the noise gate, but if it did, I apologize. The way that silver dragons are drawn in... Oh god. My ring light is in the way of my monitor. This is great! Please work. Alright, we'll just fix this orientation real quick. Reset view. Get a new layer up, because Photoshop needs to be difficult like that and can't just make a new layer. But if you look at how the original monster manual colored silver dragons, it's one of the other reasons why they're my favorite, because they're so colorful. Like, there's so many ranges of colors. There's golds and blues and purples, all in what is a very simple concept of a silver dragon. And it's first of all, the monster manual has fucking beautiful illustration. I love going to it for reference. I love going to it to see how they incorporate color. But this, like, specifically is just such a really cool way to illustrate something like silver, because it also kind of, it shows, like, tarnished silver. It's not just perfectly, like, shiny. I don't know. I really appreciate how they went about designing these dragons. Uzu, hi! Hey guys, you should also go check Roll for Damage out, because Uzu runs a World of Darkness game over there that I am in which I also play a teenager, but she's a lot more stable than Nia. Hi, Uzu. I hope your week's going well for you. Alright. Now let's get into here. So I'm going to try and clean up the sketch a little bit. If you want to know what brushes I'm using, I can't tell you. It is a base brush from... It is a base brush from the standard pack, I believe. I think it is the dry medium... something brush. What is this brush? Who knows actually what this brush is? I'm 90% sure it is the... Might be a wet medium, not a dry one. No, it's the dry one. It is a dry... It's the dry medium, Kyle's Ultimate Pencil, I think. I've played with a lot of settings here too, just because I like a certain amount of sketchiness. It's one of the reasons I've moved over to Photoshop pretty exclusively for sketching. It just feels a lot smoother I resisted this for years. I haven't worked on Photoshop since, I think, CS5 was the standard? Is any character you play of sound mind? Well, I was about to refute that, but my warlock is also going insane. Okay, now Lyra is sound. Lyra's just also 19, and, you know, still a kid. Like, Lyra is still perfectly sound. In fact, I think she's probably my most rational character. Nia is damaged. Revere is insane. Revere is just Daenerys from Game of Thrones, honestly. She's batshit crazy. And Pyrrha, the Blood Hunter, she's sane enough. Half expecting her DM to come in here and say she's not, because he always does, but she's sane enough. This is Photoshop, and I will be moving over to Paint Tool Sai afterwards. As I said, I have just kind of primarily went to sketching in Photoshop. Mostly because I have access to the entire Adobe library, thanks to my roommates. Otherwise, I probably would have moved over to Clip, if I'm honest with you, because I like Clip a little bit better, but Clip costs money, and that's not what I have right now. Not for an art program, at least. I have to be a bit more fiscally responsible. Yeah, I love Lyra. She's very good. See, Lyra is sane. Everyone else, though, no. And it's funny that Lyra is my most sane character, because Lyra can hypnotize people with her voice. Like, she hypnotizes stuff with her voice and knows a bunch of weird occult stuff. I'm telling you, wealthy people probably don't become adventurers either, unless they're, you know, noble background and trying to run away from it, or, you know, whatever storyline that would be. I could never play that. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't play noble background. Kyle, stay out of my chat. Healthy, well-adjusted people don't become adventurers. That is my viewpoint. And, like, to be fair, even my Blood Hunter, she's sane, she's just hot-headed. I mean, she's already made a terrible choice for shock, but not particularly for shock value. I don't think she's gonna end up setting her city afire, but I do think that she is going to end up killed, after her city is reclaimed. It's the Runaway Noble, a classic. Oh yes, I play that storyline too often. It's just too fun. I like playing characters that have have people after them. It's just a fun, it's a fun storyline for my DMs. My DMs like having plenty of knives to throw at me, and I don't ever skimp on the knives for my DMs. All right. Honestly, this kobold reminds me a little bit of some of the kobolds from a game I play in, where it's very, like, Norse mythology based, but the big storyline is the introduction of dragons into the world, or the reintroduction, technically, because dragons already exist. But we've just met, like, a bunch of kobolds, and honestly, this DM just makes the cutest kobolds that have ever existed. Not that it's hard to make a cute kobold, because look at them. Just look at them. Look at these... Just look at these big eyes, and she looks instantly less innocent and way more suspicious, and we need to fix that. I want this character to be very doe-eyed. I want her to be a little timid, kind of, and small. Because low-key, she might be the backup if my... She might be a backup if my Blood Hunter dies. For that game. And goodness knows I give my DMs no shortage of weaknesses to exploit. I have had my DM Ben, the one who helped. I mean, he did help with Into the Farwood. He put me through the fucking adventure. The one who wrote a lot of what happened in Into the Farwood. He has put me through, I think, some of the most intense things that have happened to characters. in like the most tasteful way possible. He's really fantastic at spinning a tale. He's really good at putting you in really fucked up situations, without you seeing them coming. I mean, I'm pretty sure I played with a character that was, like, I'm not sure he was quite a noble, but he was a board, back when I was playing Tomb of Annihilation, our rogue Tea Leaf, I believe his story was, he was, like, the head of a shipping company, and got tired of it, or he was, he got bored, started having a midlife crisis, went off to find his mom, and then he was like, oh, no, I'm gonna go find Syndra Sylvain, and I'm gonna go, do this thing, I think. It's been, like, 2 years since that game at this point, so, that's also a solid backstory choice. I don't know, Noble, I feel like people look over that that background a little too much, especially because its feature is really freaking useful. It's really good for social situations, which I tend to love putting myself in as a player. I am that person who will never make Charisma my dump stat. I will make Constitution my dump stat instead if you give me the choice, because I don't like being inept in social situations. I hate not being able to roleplay. Not that, like, a charismatic person can't roleplay. I just don't like playing characters that don't have charisma. I play largely charisma-based classes. I play a lot of warlocks. I'm actually playing my first paladin. What else uses charisma? I think Sork. I've tried playing Sork many times, but I've never completed a game in which my character stayed a Sork, which is a little sad, I guess. I do love Sorks. Their meta magics are so cool, which is half why this is going to be. He had a midlife crisis. Yeah, he had a midlife crisis. He was a half-elf halfway through his life, and he was like, well, shit, I want to meet my mom, I guess. He bought a motorcycle, dyed his hair black. I mean, just about. I'm pretty sure he became a pirate for a minute. I'll have to go back and actually confirm with the player on that one, because that one, it's been a minute. Oh, God. Even Dex. I mean, I don't particularly prioritize Dex. I will always dump Strength, because I never... I say this knowing full well I played Luna. I never play Strength builds. Luna was actually my first fighter. Like, ever. Because I think my first class I ever played was a Druid. I'm pretty sure that was what I first played in Adventures League. Alright, we're gonna get her little claws. Pirate is close. I mean, you have a giant boat. Is that not good enough? Right. Just clear out these lines here. So, what are you thinking? She's got a lot of ornaments on her clothes, and I feel like she herself needs to be wearing more, like, shiny stuff just on her skin. So I had this, or like jewelry, not on her skin. I guess you wear jewelry on your skin, I guess. Okay, fine, checkmate. I kind of want to do, I was thinking piercing her ears, but I kind of was going against it because I didn't want to make anything that looked super heavy, which is why I started tying stuff around her horns. Maybe we could do like little like golden ringlets on her horns, maybe. I want, the idea for this character, if she goes into the story that I anticipate her going to, if, there's two different campaigns I could see her going in, and both of which she's going to be acting as a sort of, both of which I imagine her acting as a sort of seer or a sort of cloud reader. So I kind of want to lean into that, like, kind of witchy aesthetic, which you'd think I'd know, considering that is my aesthetic, but apparently not. Apparently I don't know this aesthetic at all, but we're trying. We're gonna see what we can do. All right, we'll just got little beads here. I think I drew these as knots, but we could turn these knots into beads. Yes, I am using Photoshop. This has been what I've been primarily using for lines, because I finally got access to Photoshop. That wasn't a huge financial drain. And I also finally sat down and taught myself how to use it, finally. Because I haven't used Photoshop since CS5 with the standard, and I'm pretty sure that was close to 10 years ago. Which hurts so much, because I'm pretty sure that came out when I was in high school or very shortly before. Yeah, like some bracelets or something, like those like really jingly stacked bracelets, maybe, I was thinking. Because I basically, when I look at this character, I imagine them to be someone who jingles when they walk. I'm kind of debating turning these little ambiguous gem shapes into maybe bells, little silver bells. I mean, witchy plus goth. I mean, wearing all black and have sleeves like bats, I'm pretty sure I'm a witch at this point. That, and I think being a practicing Wiccan for, like, since I was, like, 14 probably also grants me a pass. I will do, like, little... I think we've all decided on, silver. I think we've all decided we're gonna do a very similar silver to this here. This is the Silver Dragon official art from the Monster Manual, and I freaking love how they illustrate a Silver Dragon here. I like that they're including, I like that they're including, all of, like, the tarnish colors of silver. Oh, Crossrides, give the little one a cookie and a head pat for $10. Thank you, gladly, I will. She looks like she would love head pats, honestly. Get her little... I feel like I need to maybe widen them, turn the... She looks confident, and that's not what I want. I want her to look really unsure. I want her to look kind of skittish and, like, you know... because, like, I was about to say the story that I was anticipating her to be in. Feathers. Ooh, feathers. Feathers could be fun. Alright, well, let's fix this eye here. I think maybe I have to angle her eyes a little further up. Might also be that her mouth kind of looks like a smile. Also, she's cross-eyed now. Oops. Sorry, I don't... This kobold needs a name. I'm kind of... You know what, we're in chat, help me name her. I'm leaning towards gust, personally, like a gust of wind. But if anyone else has any suggestions, feel free to let me know. She just looks like she's rolling her eyes at somebody now. How did I do this shape before? I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I've never played a kobold or been involved in kobold, I've never played a kobold or been involved in kobold, life? That took me way too long to figure that out. I'm pretty sure it still didn't, Chime? Oh, I love Chime, that's adorable! Oh, I love that. Oh, that's precious. I like that. That's cute. And that, I think, adds to that, like, this kind of more innocent look I'm trying to give this kobold. I want her to look, very, like... I want her to look innocent, is the biggest thing. I want her to look innocent and sweet. Because there's not a lot of kobolds that look like that going through Pinterest. A lot of kobolds honestly look like murder machines, and I'm super for that for kobolds. Or they look like really, like... they don't all look like murder machines, but they look very, comic relief, I think, is what I've seen a lot of art for them, is they... Or like, also just a ton of artificers, which I get why kobolds are made artificers. Their whole thing is that they make little gadgets, and their little traps are awesome. I just want to see more interpretations of kobolds. So, finding anything that doesn't look like an artificer, a comic relief, or, like, murder machine is kind of difficult. At least in the vein of Pinterest. of Pinterest. And yeah, we're looking at wind themes mostly because she is meant to be a storm sorcerer and a cloud reader. So I thought something like something alluding to how the wind forms the clouds, like gust of wind, would have been nice. But I really like chime, sorry. This is I mean, potentially she's probably going to stay in my little design folder until I use her. I probably won't sell this design off just because I like it too much. A lot of the designs I end up making, I'm not gonna lie, I normally sell them off on various platforms under different names. Because it's not really what I want to be known for. Where I'll just sell the rights to them away. So that they're not cluttering up and they can actually be used by someone else, you know. Step this ear. It needs to be further back. But this one might be one I keep because I do kind of There you go, as to why she looks innocent. She's a civilized kobold. I mean, I'm sure you can have civilized kobolds that are still murder machines. They're just very efficient murder machines. Pretty sure. I mean, I know for a fact a kobold could talk me into walking into a trap very easily. It's a tiny dragon person. They're adorable. I love them. So, yes. It's something, it's like, not sure how many people have heard of adoptables or selling designs, but sometimes artists who will just come up with designs to sell for a quick spot of cash. Some people make that their entire art profession. I used to do it for a time. I mostly did it over on For Affinity, mind you, back when I was still deep in that. The only reason I'm not going with Gale is that I already have a character concept that I am set on naming Gale. Otherwise, yeah, that would have been a good one. I think I'm pretty set on Chime. I think Chime is cute. Alicat, there's no need to be rude. I'm not great at drawing kobolds. Not great at drawing any kind of dragon. We're all just kind of learn here. If you don't have anything constructive to say, please keep the comments to yourself. Alright guys, I was taking care of that. I'm not selling this design, unfortunately. I think I'm going to keep her. Because like I said, I wanna keep, like I said, I want to, keep her, sorry, I completely, like, spaced out for a minute. I want to, keep her for a game potential. As either a backup for if my Blood Hunter dies, which is very likely because she's reckless as hell, or, if, my Sunday's third campaign starts, I might bring her in, maybe. Keep the baby, yeah. Keep the baby so that I can keep learning how to draw the baby. The only thing I'm, like, not happy with is her feet. They are super awkward. I'm really bad at drawing any sort of digitigrade in like, really any form of animal feet. I'm just not good at that. That's never been my strong suit. So, I might honestly stop everything up here and just work down here because this is a mess. Like, I'm pretty sure this leg here is, like, completely twisted. Like, that, I'm sure a leg could twist that way, but it would not be this far out, and I'm pretty sure this knee is broken. So, we're gonna, I guess, start with sketching some really basic knee shapes. And I think I want to keep her calves a little smaller, because she's a tiny. It is an orb. It is meant to be an orb with lightning in it. Like a roiling storm inside. kind of add to that. It's also a thing I do with digidegraded toes that I just think look really cool. I do this with all of my tieflings, because all of my tieflings have hooves, as they should. Cloven hooved characters are freaking cool, and if you're gonna have a character that's marked by hell, you might as well just freaking go all out. I like to do this weird sharp point that I know is not a talon. I'm pretty sure I picked this up from watching Delightful sculpt all of her dragon series. You don't know Delightful? They're like a Monster High doll customizer artist, very talented. I pull a lot from how she designs things because I feel like we have very similar design brains in terms of what we find aesthetically really pretty. And what we like in characters, and she's also a classically trained game character concept artist, which was the field I wanted to go into, which is the field I wanted to go into when I was still considering college. So she does this really interesting thing in which when she sculpts, she just, I know that these are in the doll they are to keep the legs, the limbs from overextending, but they're really cool design details that I just think look so interesting. I don't know. It makes for a really interesting silhouette. I feel like I said interesting way too many times there. That's fine. I can pick new words, maybe. Who knows? That looks like chicken feet. We're gonna go back on that one. And maybe do little scales instead. That's better. That looks like still kind of chicken feet, but it's fine. She has chicken feet now, I guess. Yeah, maybe it's like how dogs have the paw pads tied up. It's clear, it's probably some sort of biological detail. It's important for whatever this is. I don't know. It looks cool and it's pointy, so I'm gonna draw it there, because it fills in the awkward gap of the ankle joint connecting here. Alright, so we're gonna try and repeat this on the other side, but not as thick, because this foot is kind of set off to the side a little bit, whereas this one is, I think I'm gonna move to facing a bit more forward. Ah, carpal pad, there you go. So I don't think you'll see as much of the pointy thing in this one, because I'm gonna focus more on the is texting me and why and what do you want from me? Hold on. Discord is pinging and I can't bring it up or you will all see my Discord. And I'd rather not. Little break from drawing while I try to see why the hell somebody is texting me. How are you guys doing? What's going on? What do we got in the chat right now? Holding an armored dream capture, I've already addressed that. Old lizard, the old man. Connor, if you're watching this, the answer is yes, I am streaming. Sorry, speaking of Connor, she was just texting me. Alright, I'll go ahead and... I hate drawing pointy things at perspective lines, because I'm not good at it, but I think that will suffice for now. What the heck was I saying beforehand? Oh yeah, chat. A feathered kobold is adorable. That... Guys, we might have to give this kobold feathers. Hold on, wait. I need to look something up. No, I don't want Pokemon. Pokemon would be cool, but... Ooh. Hey. How would you guys feel about taking some fairy dragon inspiration from this? With them, iridescent sheen to the scales and feathers. I think that sounds cool, and I want that. I'm gonna try that. That sounds real fun. But I think what I'm gonna do is, instead of big chunky feathers, because I've been drawing a lot of big chunky feathers lately, my character for that Norse mythology game is a Protector Aasimar, and she's got giant hawk wings. So, I think I want to do, these really small, fluffy feathers and give her, a moth collar. I don't think we're gonna do feathers on the head, because yeah, I don't really wanna Skyrim it. But I think I wanna do like a big moth collar, like a, you know how moths have that little fuzzy little thing around, like, section around their neck. That's adorable to me, and I love it, and I wanna make one out of feathers for this kobold. That is what we're doing today. It's gonna look like fur until I start drawing all the veins in, probably. Honestly, that could also be what these little points are. Because these are just meant to be little scales before, but they could kind of be going out into little fluffy little feathers. That could be cute. Don't Skyrim it, Morrowind it. Or I could just not. Alright. Oh. I just want to give her, like, a giant floofy collar. I'm half tempted to change this from being a kobold entirely and make them a moth, but I'm doing D&D, damn it, not just fantasy. Maybe I'll make a moth eventually. Actually, Mothwing-inspired Osimar could be fun. Oh man, I feel like you could have such a fun wizard based on moths, or a really fun sork based on moths. Or, actually, I could see like a really fun, genuinely, I could see a very fun, Archfey warlock that has, like, that's, Archfey is like a moth-inspired fairy, or like a Lord Fey that's inspired by moths, maybe. That could be cool. Alright, I've had coffee sitting in front of me this entire time and I haven't touched it. Alright, let's see. Yeah, like something like that. Something that, where, like, you can, like, flavor a lot of your spells around moths. Or, like, other, like, nighttime insects. That could be a really fucked up night hag patron, actually. Ooh. Oh, that might have to go in the idea bank. Not that I should be playing another warlock. I've played two at the same time, and my current warlock is like level 16, and I've been playing her for like almost 2 years. Might take a break for another class. I'm just not sure where the mothlight pattern would be. Like, all over her scales, because moths have, like, eyes on their wings and stuff to, like, ward off predators. So if kobolds were winged, I could see that being, like, having moth wings. That could be cool. I mean, technically, I'm pretty sure all sorcerers unlock a level of flight, except I don't actually know. I'm pretty sure storm sorks don't. Hold on, what does storm sorks get? I've never played a sork to level 14, so... Sork 5e. And let me open you up real quick. Storm's Fury. Oh, nope. You get a thing that does extra. That's actually kind of garbage. Okay. Okay, I guess that's not as garbage. It does a flat 14 damage and, well, cost of your reaction, which is not great. And I guess it doesn't have a limit to push things away. I don't know. I feel like I could accomplish this same thing as a warlock. Why is HBO recommending me Game of Thrones? I have not watched that in months. That's creepy. Leave me alone. I feel like I could accomplish this same effect with less effort if I was just a warlock and took Repelling Blast and Eldritch Blast. But alright, we'll take that. And also lightning damage is a terrible damage type. Sorry, I had to rant about that one for a minute. That's kind of sad. I never play Sorks to get that high, so, also, I don't think I've ever... I have very few characters that I also keep one class. I multi-class a lot. It's one of my favorites. My Warlock currently has, my Warlock, the level 16 one, is, I believe, 13 levels of Warlock and 3 levels of Eloquence Bard, so I'm just a super broken Persuasion and Deception build. It's one of the reasons my DM, like, makes me make just flat Charisma checks. Like, will make me make flat Charisma checks, or, what we call Honor checks, because we use Honor in our games. We have an Honor stat. Because he knows that I have such an unnatural ability to lie that it would just be boring if there wasn't any suspense. I like to make kind of, I don't want to say power game, because I definitely don't make the most efficient builds in the world, but I like to have just one skill that I'm stupidly good at, and normally those are charisma-based skills. I like being really persuasive. That's, I like being persuasive, I like being insightful, and I like being really, really good at deceiving people, which is, not the best thing, I think, to say on stream. So before anybody takes this out of context, I am talking about D&D and the deception skill, nothing else. That needs to be a little better. There we go. Let's sketch real quick. And I think the chicken legs are coming out okay. We are going... Probably part of what's throwing me off is that her eyes are freaking huge. You and me are both like, if I can't lie, I die with death. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Uzu gets it. Uzu plays a lot of rogue. She fucking gets it. Which, yeah, it's funny because I don't play a lot of characters that are specifically roguey. I just like I like playing characters that are really good at talking themselves out of situations, especially because I'm always in that party that has that one character that dumps their charisma and then proceeds to talk. Which means I have to talk our way out of things, which, if you've watched Into the Farwood, you will soon to come to figure out that Altharian is that character. Love him, he's a great character, his player's also fantastic, but, it is like a constant, it's a constant joke that we don't let Altharian speak because he has, like, he's got a negative to his persuasion and his deception because his charisma is so low. And I'm like, no, I want charisma, and I want preferably Dex, because Dex equals AC, which means, you know, better for me and my survival. Like I said before, I want this character to, like, make a sound when they walk, narratively speaking. Maybe not in stealth checks, but I want them to be, like, the kind of character that jingles when they pass by, just because they have so much, like, random little bits of metal on them. Luna had... I have to look at her sheet real quick, but Luna's dump stat was not charisma, actually. I'm pretty sure her dump stat was intelligence, technically. Well, nope. Luna's intelligence or wisdom and charisma were the same. They were both 10. I made any intimidation checks with strength instead. We did the strength-based intimidation check rule. But honestly, Luna's stats were so, like, averaged across the board. Luna ended up with, I think, a 17 in strength, a 13 in dex, a 15 in con, a 12 in intelligence, and a 10 in both wisdom and charisma. So none of them are really dump stats either. I think Luna was also just very personable. I think that Luna was mom to everyone, so, like, Muscle Mom was very much always in the building, so I think that probably helped, is that I wasn't actively trying to, incite persuasion checks. I was just trying to have conversations. It's resolving interactions, the part about attitude on page 224. Yep, pretty much. I've played plenty of characters that are super charismatic, but have terrible attitudes. That's also been a thing. That's something that's consistently kicked my warlock down, is that she is she's very persuasive, she's very charismatic, but good God, does this woman say the worst shit to some people. Mostly out of heightened emotions. Revere is very much insane in every sense of the word. Humans shouldn't be alive as long as she has been. I think I've said it before that this human woman has been alive for almost 3 centuries because of a pact that she made with a devil. And so, not the greatest thing for a creature that is not meant to live as long as a freaking dwarf. But here we are. Finish the little jinglies. I think we got there, and there should be some here. Oh yeah, Muscle Mom. Gotta love Muscle Mom. Will forever miss playing Muscle Mom. I hope I get. I sincerely hope I can play her again one day. Even if it's not in the same show. I just want to play Luna again. She was such a fun headspace to always get into. Yeah, very old indeed. Revere is not meant to be as old as she is. We don't exactly know what's gonna happen to her when this whole age clock thing stops either. She's been, kinda half-assured that she's not gonna just instantly be, turned to dust, but that's kinda hard to tell. That's, hard to tell, considering, it was a devil that told her that, and they're really fucking good at lying. Right. Little scales. I think I want to put, I saw this on, I think, a dancer bard once, and it was really cute. I'm gonna put she's got bells on her, horns, and I think I'm gonna also tie some little bells around her feet. Like I said, I want this character to I want the introduction, the introductory sound of this character is not her voice, it is the little chimes that she makes when she walks. Yes, I did, actually. TOA finished, it was great. I cried a lot. 2 of our characters died in the last dungeon. We revived them at the end. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat. Oops. Basically, we did it. Asirak, I think, he exploded one of our paladin at the end, and we lost our cleric to the boarhead trap. If you know TOA, you know what I'm talking about. You know how messed up it is. But we survived. We got out. Arrow found her son. It was really sweet. I played, actually, Arrow's son in a one-shot, I think last Bards for Bards? I think it was the one-shot that Felix, ran, for the Bellowing Wilds. I believe we fought a moss wyvern in there. And I played Wander, who was a Beastmaster Ranger with a pet squirrel. Just like his mom. Yeah, I want this character to look as if she makes a sound when she walks, and not footsteps. I just want them to be jingling and clinging, and this character is a kobold. I'll zoom out for new people joining the chat here. Now that I'm looking at it, her head is way too big. So we're probably gonna shrink that. Oops, no, I want the lasso. Thank you. Go ahead and shrink that down. I think... she's not flying, because I don't think there's... I don't actually know if there's any official rules, at least ones that the group I imagine I will be playing this character in will allow a flying kobold. Oh, my headphone fell out. Hold on. I know that, like, there's, like, for monster types, they can, I know, like, for, like, the actual cobalt monster type, there are... yeah, she will be the description of a walking distraction, yes. I think there are some kobolds in, like, for encounters that, like, can fly. I know I've definitely fought kobolds that had, like, little flying wings. I don't think kobolds, the playable race, though, get that unless, like, you're an artificer and you craft them, I think. Don't think she's gonna want to fly too much, though. Something tells me that she's gonna kind of want to stay on the ground. Just can keep finishing all these little jangly bits. And what we might do, because I didn't anticipate adding all of these details, is I might go ahead and import this sketch over to Sai, and then we will start coloring. So what I will do in the meantime, once I have most of this sketch down, is I'll probably just switch it back to the standalone face cam, switch everything over, talk to you guys for a minute. Fall with style. I mean, she'll at least fall with an interesting sound. And I guess you could call what she's wearing stylish. Alright, and I think just to sell the fluffiness, I want to put fluff on the end of her tail. It's one of my favorite looks for tails. It's one of the reasons I love abyssal tieflings, is because I love to imagine them with, like, furry little animal tails instead of like the traditional forked devil tail. And of course, I'm probably gonna tie more little gold things onto her tail. A puffball tail. Oh, that could be cute. Dragons are hard to draw. Can tell you as somebody who's drawn many of dragon, they are hard to draw. I'm getting a tattoo with my father of, the dragons of a dragon I've drawn. It was hard to draw. The fluffy tails are just precious, okay? There's just something adorable about them, and I don't know. I find tieflings already adorable. They're one of my favorite races to design. They're one of my favorite races to play. Funny, I haven't played many tieflings. I need to play more tieflings. I do want to politely remind the chat that everything in a character design can be purely for flavor. Unless you are specifically telling your DM, yes, I want this to impede me, there is definitely an argument to, hey, this is just something I want to look cool. Rule of cool, at least in my tables, always trumps. And unless it's something super unreasonable, like you're always on fire or something like that, you should always try to talk to your DMs about that. I feel like there's a lot of ways you can flavor them, concealing it, whether they have like a little harmless bit of magic that turns like the sound of their jewelry all on and off. Let's see. I think. All right. I think we're gonna call that a sketch, because we'll do all the patterning and stuff on her dress once we, do all the patterning and stuff on her dress once we actually, I think I want to make that puffball a little bigger. It looks a little awkward down there. All the patterns I have, and I'll also show the color study I did for the... That's a little better. I mean, yeah, you shouldn't want to always be on fire, unless maybe you're a fire genasi, that's just what your hair does. Triton's tails. Yeah, why Tritons don't have tails, I don't understand. Sorry, I'm trying to switch my things over, but I can't seem to find where... There it is, Streamlabs. Alright, we're gonna switch over to just the face cam real quick while I go ahead and set all this up in Sai. So hi guys. How's it going? Alright, let me just save this to this. Okay, bold. We'll save it to the C. This one. Alright, let me just pull this. My old stomping grounds. Sometimes I miss working, like, exclusively in Sai, purely just because I've looked at this program for a little over 10 years at this point. Dragonborn have tails. I don't give a fuck what the player handbook says. I don't give a fuck what the original art says. Dragonborn should have tails. If kobolds have tails, Dragonborn should have tails. And if you're gonna make the argument with me that kobolds don't need tails, then I'm not having that argument because you're fundamentally wrong. I'm sorry. Just, some of the decisions they made with some of the designs in the monster manual is just so, like, actually infuriating. Sorry, I'm just readjusting here. Alright, let me also pull up, I'm going to also this so that you guys can see some of the inspiration and colors that I think I want to be using. Funny enough, I made the skin gray because I wanted to leave it as a blank canvas, but it looks like a silver kobold anyway, so look at that. There we go. Haven't switched over yet, so you guys have no fucking idea what I'm talking about, so that's helpful, Shelby. There we go. Yeah, no, I left the scales gray when I was doing my color studies because I wanted to leave, it was meant to be a stand-in color for, like, you know, if I decided, hey, I'm ready to give her scales, like, give her scales color. But apparently I already fucking put my base down. I'm gonna also move this off to the side, I think. Or, there we go. Grade it for my clipboard, make that easier. Yeah, sorry, you're just wrong about Dragonborn if you don't believe they should have tails. They are... How the hell are they a dragon and not a lizard folk if they don't have the big tails? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I was planning to go with jewel tones, mostly really dark tones, and then I wanted one or two really vivid colors, so I went with a more cyan, and then of course the gold accent color. I'm probably gonna tone down the saturation a little bit, because this is a lot TM. And I might also go in and start, because this dress is just a little... You know, if I got rid of this waistband, this dress would probably sit a lot nicer and just look like a little, like a big robe rather than... Probably just look like a nice big robe, rather, that I can, like, have these little things coming down from, rather than a cinched dress, because it looks weird on a kobold body. I want to know, anybody who draws, do you ever have, like, succumb to that, my sketch looks better than my lines, so I'm gonna color the sketch instead moment? Boy, do I do. As a little confession, I've already colored the picture that was for my Blood Hunter. I was going to just start playing with extra things to add, to make it look cool. But I've already, like, chosen some colors, because when I tried to sit down and do my lines, I was like, this looks awful. Like, actually looks like a mess, and I kind of hate it. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's because I'm a lot more confident in my sketching than I am in my lines, I think. I think that's where I think that's honestly where I do the best. I'm really good at gesture drawing and blocking out shapes, but the minute I have to define those fuckers, oh, well, Shelby's gonna be here for like 6 hours and isn't gonna be happy with it at the end. Okay, so I'm going to probably color drop a few colors directly from the image, so I can kind of get an idea of what tones they were using to illustrate. What tones they were using to illustrate this is silver. So grab this really desaturated gray, which might end up being my base. And I think last we'll grab this purple. So I think this is the range of colors we're gonna try and work into the skin. I think probably for today we'll be sticking with primarily these two. And probably when I go live on Twitch next, we'll actually work on shading and making it look shiny and pretty. I just kind of want to roughly block these down. I still need to do the lines anyway. Honestly, I can't bring myself to line all of those feathers right now. That was not my plan going into this, and it's gonna look cool, but it's gonna be time consuming. That is not something I wish to start at 5 o'clock in the evening on a Wednesday. Oh. But I'm gonna sneeze. I'm not actually sure there is a defined lighting in this picture of a silver dragon. I like to take the interpretation of all the gold in the scales as how silver looks as it becomes tarnished. And as it reacts to other things. Silver does tend to go a bit more yellow. I like how they've worked in like all these purples and these really dark grays to kind of show the black tarnishing that can happen on silver, and then you've got these like lighter patches of when like the surface is a bit more worn, exposed to oxygen. I think that's interesting to me. So I like to think that a lot of what went on here was for showing all the different hues that silver takes on. This dragon here, this dragon is according to the monster manual, it is a silver dragon, and I like it's specifically the way that they colored the silver dragon is why silver dragons are one of my favorite visually, because there's so many colors in their scales rather than silver. Silver is, to me, kind of an amorphous color. There's a lot of different tones it can take. Oh, thanks, Steam. I hope that's not showing up. It's not, it's fine. There's a million different colors it can take. Hold on one moment, guys. I'm just gonna have to mute because I think someone's about to open the door. Alright, and we are back. Sorry, my front door is very loud and kind of squeaky, and I just didn't want that in my audio today. Also, for just the record, my PC is like right in our front entryway because that was the only way that's the only place we had to put it when I moved in. So I'm subject to all of the traffic that goes by to the front door and kitchen. So sorry about that, guys. So as I was saying, this is the, like, this specific coloration of the silver dragon is why I love silver dragons so much, because I find that the all of the different colors and ways that silver tarnishes and damages, that they incorporated into the scales to show that it's not just a color, this is like actually metal. That's fascinating to me. What is this about clowns in my chat now? Can we not? I hate clowns. I don't want to deal with clowns. Let's not do clowns. Clowns are fucking creepy. even before that, like, the clown nonsense, clowns are fucking creepy. I don't want, like, I'm sure that many clowns are very fun and respectable. It's a fine and respectable profession. I just kind of take issue with hiring a middle-aged man to put on a bunch of makeup and entertain my children, potentially when I'm not watching them. I don't know, maybe I've seen too many, I've read too many true crimes, I've listened to too much true crime, or what, but that's not something I want, to ever have to be afraid of. I'm already scared for my future kids for many, many reasons. I'd rather clowns not to be one of them. I'm sure they weren't scary when they were first invented, but they are sure as hell scary now. And, unfortunately, if you are a clown, please stay the fuck away from my house. And, well, really, just stay the fuck away from me, because I reflex kick. I can't help it if I'm scared. And, I cannot guarantee you will not be harmed. Just for the record, before YouTube gets mad, I was joking. Please don't kick me off the platform. Don't want to be here, damn it. Where is this open space? Ah, there it is. Gotta love that. So we've got this, like, really dark base, I think. Notes down things to avoid for session. I mean, if you want to put a clown in, Lyra's just gonna try and stab it. I'm just being honest with you, Uzu. Don't show up to call dressed as a clown and we should be good. Honestly, if you meet a child that likes clowns, that child might need therapy. They might need help. Clowns can only invite them in clowns can only enter your home if you invite them in, or if they're very rude. Well, I'm pretty sure the killer clowns on my doorstep are not going to be a pinnacle of politeness. Silver. I remember when fucking killer clowns were a thing. It was scary. If I was in a car and some fucking clown was chasing me, I'd start fucking saying my prayers, because I'm dead. I've seen enough horror movies. I know what happens. Fucking girl always dies first in these situations, and I'm gonna fucking die. Lady Mara's stolen clowns. Stole clowns from Lyra's head. Okay, what Lady Marrow took from Lyra is way worse than a fucking clown, I think. But you guys will see for that one. Actually, yeah, if you guys are if you guys were Necrohunt fans, you like how I play, and are interested to see me playing in a different system, as I said before, Rogue Uzu is running a Power by the Apocalypse game. I believe it's Hunter the Vigil, over on Roll for Damage, and it's a very small cast production. It's just me, Uzu, what the heck is Sander's screen names now? It's, I know he goes under Crit Failsafe. I feel like he probably goes under something else, which is, Sorry, Xander, if I can't remember right now. And Dipper Dog 15, where we play a, honestly, wholesome as hell, just, like, little family that just kind of came together after we had our nightmare stolen. We've got, like, we really do have, like, a weird, like, I don't know why we remind me so much of, like, Supernatural vibes, like the show Supernatural vibes, without, like, without Dean being hot. Sorry. But we kind of do. Just in what we consistently seem to get ourselves into with ghosts and fairies hunting us in the woods and boggarts and, you know, all that fun shit. Where we have, like, this weird underlying wholesome family unit that is forming that I fucking adore. You should come check that out if you are interested. The character I play is absolutely delightful. She's just this sweet little teenager. She's just wants to live her life and not die from having her memories taken. The entire premise is that we had our memories taken by what? I don't know what the fuck to call Lady Marrow. A fae, question mark, named Lady Marrow. For reasons I will let you just figure out once, if you watched. And, we're trying to get them back, because if we don't get them back, we're gonna die, because we can't sleep. Okay, don't even get me started on tiefling rules, considering they're like, tieflings are red, but they show you a purple fucking tiefling in the monster manual. Or not the monster, sorry, not the monster manual, the player's handbook. They show you a purple fucking tiefling. Yes, Jackson. Jackson joined. I was very happy with the end of last session. That made me so happy. Just so you know, I don't believe there is a session this week, so if you are interested, I think the plan, unless something blows up, is next week. I think. Uzu, correct me if you would not mind, if you're still here. So just in case anybody shows up this Thursday and is like, wait, where's the show? It's not running this week. But we do have the VODs up over, well, some of the VODs are up over on Roll for Damage, and I believe there is the latest VOD you can still watch on the channel, I think. Not 100% sure on that one, because I think they go out after a couple weeks. World of Darkness is different. You don't have, the resting system isn't the same. You don't, like, rest for 8 hours to get all your, like, resources back. We still technically sleep, I think. It's just, honestly, none of us, I don't think, have failed the save, and one of us, like, physically forced herself to go to sleep with medicine. So, I'm honestly not sure that there is, I'm honestly not sure if, Bloodhunter ordered the Lycan. I can rest. Me and the DM decide for her to make wisdom saves during the full moon. That's interesting, because my Bloodhunter does something very similar. Except it's not the full moon that she's having issues with, even though, well, in our world, every Lycan Bloodhunter has a very, like, struggles with, what is called in the world the hunger, the beast. And it's the hardest when you are when you're first, inducted. I think I've decided I'm going to make all the metal on her gold just to contrast, because I don't want to put silver on silver, I don't think. Words. Words are difficult. I'm between two different topics in my brain. Yeah, it's not, I think the whole thing was, I was trying to say there is that it's not D&D, it's World of Darkness. I should have just said that instead of rambling on. But as I back on the Bloodhunter conversation, if I could stick to a topic, that would be cool. The other one is called Crit Fail Safe. And Roll for Damage, it's with the number 4. just so it's easier to find. I believe I also have Roll for Damage, like, highlighted on my channel. If you go to my channel, like, go to the page and then go to the channel section, I think Roll for Damage is listed there still as, like, my regular live D&D haunt. Or live TTRPG haunt, technically, because I only play one game of D&D live now. Dreaming, it's the whole dreaming aspect, and we've already been told it will kill us. Like, eventually we will die if we don't get these nightmares back. Not sure how. Something tells me it might have something to do with what we saw happen in the last game, which I won't spoil, but it was heartbreaking. Uzu made me cry, like, 2 different times. Like, not, like, tear up, like, a blubber cry. In that session, so should go check that out. No, never tell your name to a fae. That's a terrible idea, guys. Back to the Blood Hunter conversation. Damn, I'm really going all over the place. My Blood Hunter had we have an issue with lichens in our setting right now. And there's an issue with the moon right now, where we are getting a lot of blood moons. Nobody fucking knows why, it's just happening, and the first blood moon I experienced as a lichen, for the record, my entire character's, like, concept is that I was bitten by a werewolf. My father, was or my father figure. I make a lot of characters that have, like, strong relationships with their father, if you haven't realized. Luno was not the first. My character's father was already a blood hunter and a well-seasoned one, and so he did the only thing he knew how to do, and he inducted her he gave her the Hunter's Bane in order to tame her lycanthropy. But the problem with that has been the fact that the taming of the lycanthropy did not cure it. It simply put it on a leash, and it can come off that leash. If you've never played a blood hunter, a lichen blood hunter, basically when you go into your feral form, you get, like, basically mini barbarian abilities. You get resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-silvered weapons. You get advantage on strength checks and saves. I believe it's also saves. And you also get, when you do claw attacks, instead of doing your flat, like, unarmed strike damage, you do a d6 and then later a d8. So at that point, I'm at the point as a blood hunter where it is more damage efficient for me to put my swords away and just throw 3 claws out, because also as a lichen, you can throw a claw out as a bonus action if you make an unarmed strike. The whole problem with all of this is that it was not in a school. This was not in a blood hunter school like it should have been, which is not good, because while I as the player know all of my mechanics, I have been playing this character as if she has no idea what the fuck is happening. I gave my DM complete control over the first time I went hybrid form. It scared the crap out of me. I have given him complete I've given him complete control over when the hunger really surges and I can't control it, like with the Blood Moon incident. I didn't attack any of my party members, thankfully, but I did fight something and we don't know what I fought, which is not ideal. Not great. It's going into a broader point. That fell out of my brain. I can't stay on this, like, one subject. I don't know why. I, as a player, there it is. I, as a player, fully know my abilities. Pyrrha does not, though. Pyrrha does not know that her Bane was actually administered correctly, and this is just how, well, she didn't know that this was just how these kinds of blood hunters are until she met one. We met one in-game, another Lichen Hunter. And he gave her some insight into, like, what the hell's going on with her, and, like, no, your Bane was done right, but you're still in some fucking trouble. Lichen. Order of the Lichen blood hunters are are the werewolf blood hunters. Well, really just, like, wear whatever blood hunters. I flavored a wolf because I was bitten by a werewolf, therefore, wolf. I can pull her up real quick if you guys are curious. Yeah, actually, like, her colored version I can pull up, I should say, because you technically have already seen the sketch. Here we go. I'll pull this one up and the other one, I think. No, we'll just do this one. Here she is. You can't see them all here because she kind of covered them all up for warmth, for our next arc. But she's, like, meant to have these, like, really long, gnarly scars going down, like, her, like, this side of her, like, neck and chest and down, because that's where she was, like, gored. Ooh, were-tiger? That would be neat. Real neat. I remember, I won't spoil this, but there's a really cool NPC in Tomb of Annihilation that is a were-tiger, and they are fucking badass, and I love them. So I'm gonna make these gold, I think. Make these metal. Alright, let me just grab this, and I think we'll also grab the base color for the dress. And I think we're going to be a little rougher with this since I'm going to cover a larger area. We're just going to try and stay within the lines, but I'm all underneath the scale layer, so I'm just going to go around like this. I might keep the drawstring the same color, make it look like she made this all out of the same fabric. I've fallen down a bit of a rabbit hole lately of period clothing and, like, period appropriate clothing. Don't fucking be that way, you. Mostly, like, mostly Victorian wear, a lot of Elizabethan, Edwardian era kind of garb from mostly Great Britain. But it's led me down a bit of a rabbit hole for how garments are constructed and how they lay. Alright, so we're gonna do... I'm thinking instead of triangles, we're gonna do, like, lines like that. We're gonna go ahead and clip this down so that it stays. I don't want them to be even either. I think I want these to be like a little wonky because I think I want these to be a representation of wind in some way. And not. Go ahead and put the same ones up here. I might not even keep the crescent moons. I might just keep the little moons up on her little cloth thing up here. Go ahead, trim this down. Sorta trade in? Sort of? I probably know many a seamstress that would be very angered by that statement. Sorry, I was reading the chat. I guess, I know I said I would talk more about this, and then I completely didn't. I guess I could probably go into some stuff that I'm planning to do. Like I said, I've kind of entirely moved over to Twitch to some capacity, in terms of just that's where I'm always streaming, whether it's on my Twitch or other people's Twitch. This is where I always am. And the I'm thinking there's a few things I want to do. Cause there's a couple games that I just play a ton by myself that I think would be fun to stream. Like, I play a lot of solo Phasmophobia that I think would be really fun because I'm a little bitch in that game. I play a lot of Slime Rancher, which is like a really fun game to just sit down and talk to people, so it could become fun to just kind of chat. And of course I draw. And draw maybe a little too much for my own good sometimes. Alright, so luckily I live in Florida, so every Floridian knows what lightning looks like. Branch it all out. I think we'll clip this down and take the airbrush. We probably don't want to clip that. We probably want to move that actually above the lines here. Were trout. Gothic Victorian forever. That is, I think, one of my favorite eras of clothing. I don't know. I have a thing for Victorian era silhouettes. That and, like, I have a very deep hatred for how a lot of people have misconstrued said fashions. So, where trout they swim, water falls on giant waves. Flotsam. Fuck, where trout are probably about as... I'm not sure, okay, because you say that, and you say they're not going to be scary, but what if these fuckers, like, manage to Pokemon evolve, and it goes from being just a little floppy fish to being a full-on dragon? What if it just fucking pulls a Magikarp? I don't know. It's why I will never, like, as a player, as a character, I will never fuck with Kuatoa, because them fuckers, like, they look like they're just weird fish people, but they manifest gods through sheer belief, and that's fucking terrifying. I wouldn't underestimate a were-trout. Frankly, turning into a fish at the full moon seems pretty freaking terrible if you aren't near water. Seems like a way to just die instantly. And I think keep the blue eyes. Can I? Thank you. I think in this color study you can also see how I had, like, this idea that, like, when she's casting, her eyes go, like, really, like, vivid blue, like she's seeing things. And the more I'm, like, tossing this idea around, the more I'm like, long explanation short, editing that much footage takes a lot of time and a lot of manpower. This was a full month where just about every day there was a 3 to 4 hour plus stream in which all of that needs to be edited down. And the people who run that channel are like 3 people who are incredibly busy with life. Long story short, because I assume probably didn't catch earlier, the last year for me and the other person that runs Bards for Bards has been hectic. I personally moved 6 times last year, between states, several different times, and we physically have just not had the time to cut it all down, if I'm honest with you. Not the greatest excuse in the world, but it's what happens when you kind of run a charity event that large and you're not prepared. A little behind the scenes is that charity turned into from a collab of 6 people to a collab of 30 plus in a day, and we are by no means upset by how big it got. We raised so much money for the Artist Relief Tree, and I am so incredibly proud of how that charity drive went, but it was exhausting, and it's one of the reasons why Bards for Bards is not running this year. Yes, 6. Not gonna go into the full details because it is private, but yeah. I moved quite a bit last year. It's part of why I was so sporadic. It's part of why I haven't posted in like 8 months. It was a lot. It was just a lot. I think instead of little moons, we're just gonna do dots. Because dots always look nice. So, yeah, that is what happened with the Bards for Bards channel. I'm sorry that there has been this delay, but I'm a very strong advocate for prioritizing mental health and financial stability over absolutely everything. So, I kind of had to decide what was more important to me at that moment, and that was a bunch of odds from an event or being able to, you know, sleep in a house and eat. Yes, of course. Chip is sitting here, watching over us as always. He's always in the background. If you come to my live games, Chip is always in the background, and he's always there to encourage me through my terrible decisions. Well, I don't wish anybody to have to move more than really once a year. Or really, you know, ideally not have to move at all if you are in a safe and stable environment. That would be cool. But unfortunately, this wasn't the situation I fell under, unfortunately. Alright, so we are going to, I think, grab this color for the feathers, just to show that they are indeed something. Chip is the best boy. He used to have a monocle, but I lost the monocle in the move. So I'm gonna have to either find the monocle or get him a new one. Alright, and I think as a oops. Did I just do? Let's not do that. And I think just for the last little bit here, we are coming up on, I think, 2 hours, which is what I'm probably going to call the end mark of today. And I'll probably come up again either Friday or Saturday, probably more reliably Saturday, because I already streamed Friday, and stream takes as stupid as it might sound, streaming does take a certain amount of energy from me, that I do not have a lot of. Spoons have been running very low these days. So we'll see. I think it should be fine though. I might come back to finish her off, or I might come back to play a game. I might set up a poll maybe on the... Maybe I'll set up a poll on the community tab to let you guys choose. Because I've really, like I said, I've really wanted to play something like Phasmophobia just on stream for a while. People seem to enjoy watching me scared out of my mind for some fucking reason. That's all I got when I played Subnautica, because of how terrified of the ocean I am. So, might play some Phasmophobia because I'm petrified of ghosts, and I'm really fucking, I love and hate the new ghost types that just came out. The Deogen and the Moroi are fucking terrifying. The Thay is really underwhelming, but the rest are pretty cool. But yeah, I'll probably make a poll about that to see what you guys want. And of course, this little Cobalt will be finished eventually. And I will try to make sure that it is on stream when I do finish her. I might off-camera tweak a few things, and I honestly might line her off-camera, because there's just some things I'm not happy with. Mostly just this, like, really flat part of the face right here. I'm just not a fan of it. I just don't feel like it... I feel like her like... What did I just do? I feel like her snout, right, is, like, crooked. Which means I need to go find a crap ton of reference material and edit this off-camera. I just don't really want to do that on stream, because... that's a lot. So yeah, I think this is about where we're gonna call it. And we got little Chime the kobold. And we will see where she goes. Just put this up here. I'm gonna go ahead and transition the scene back to the thingy real quick. Alright, so it's kind of been my update, and I'm just gonna reiterate this at the end for any of you guys who are stragglers coming in, who've just catching the end. Hi, I hope you enjoyed the VOD. I'm sorry that you've just showed up now. We are going to be ending, but I do want to, why? I don't, okay, happy birthday, Mark, but sure, go away. Just to inform you, as I have the rest of the chat, I will not be streaming here anymore regularly. Not that I have been to begin with, but I used to a lot, especially when I first got the streaming, got my monetization and figured out how to stream and had a stable internet connection to stream on. I streamed here just about, I want to say, every other day. But I will not be doing that anymore for several reasons. Instead, I am migrating mostly over to Twitch for all that. It's just a better system. YouTube's streaming system is just kind of not great. So if you want to catch me there, the link is in the description below. It is updated. You should go follow me over there. And if you want to see more live play content, if you were fans of Necro Hunt, liked how I played, and want to see more of that, I'm just pulling up my little list here. I play in a World of Darkness game ran by Rogue Uzu over on Roll for Damage, which is roll as in roleplay, the letter 4, and then damage. There is a link to that directly on my channel, and I'm so sorry. By the time this VOD is processed, there also should be a channel link to Crit Failsafe, where I play in the Between. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Brindlewood Bay. It's a kind of Powered by the Apocalypse hack system. It's really fun. This particular story is very dark. It's like dark, alluring, and sensual, I think is the best way I could describe it. As weird as that combination is, it's very like Penny Dreadful. It's set in Victorian London, and we're monster hunters. I play an angry Slavic lady. That's actually just my blood hunter brought into this universe, where we have dubbed her the miserable Pyrrha rather than the happy Pyrrha that is currently running around being a werewolf. So if you want to come check that out, it's really fun. The cast is great. We have a lot of cool people. And of course, Xander is a fantastic DM. He also plays with me over on the World of Darkness game, so you can kind of get a feel for who he is. He's super fun. And of course, I play over on Roll for Damage in our, I think nearly 3-year running campaign called The Scales Above, where I play our problem child, Nia, who is just a ball of anxiety, and she is so fun to play. I love her dearly. She's going through some shit, and I'm pretty sure our next season's episode, the episode, the actual episode the next season, not just the talks, is this week. I'm pretty sure. I'll correct that in the comments if I'm wrong. But yeah, you should go check all those out. There should be either links now or right after this VOD is finished, uploaded. So, yeah. I'm gonna end